All right. I'm gonna fix. Hang on, it's a little bit dark. Hang on. Oh, wow. That's what happens. Like Scorpion walks the room just before he like expires you. This is the last thing you see. Anyway, look at this idiot. Seriously, man, who the hell watches this clown? Right? What a loser. Anyway, listen. So, the other one where I'm talking about, like, the good old God bless the Brazilians, right? Don't need to look at my face. Were covering I think it was, I'm pretty sure it's like, you know, like, what do you call it? Not promoter stuff, although promoters can do it. You know, like journalistic type crap. You know, information they give you so you can talk about said product. Well, I think this was another one, right? And it was about invasions. And it mentioned the returning mini games, including chess combat, motor combat, and more. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true, Salt Shaker at all. Go look at the other one about the guest fighters and cameo fighters. But I am curious, though, because it looks like they're taking... Okay, so Invasions mode could be one of those things where it becomes its own... essentially central hub for any... And I've said this before. Central hub for every gimmick, idea, fun thing that they've ever come up with Mortal Kombat, and sticking it in a mode, right? Now what I'd like to know though is that if you unlock, say, Test Your Might, can you go into Invasions and just select it out of a menu and go, yeah, I just want to play some Test Your Might, just muck around, right? Can you do that? One of the negatives I had about MK9's 300 level tower is that you couldn't really there was nowhere that you could do a Test Your Might, you know, at all. Like, you just didn't have the mini game where you could just go do it, right? It was set characters, a set sort of stone or rock or whatever that you had to break, and I hated that. I want a mini game like that to come back where I can choose the character and choose the difficulty, or scale up, if you will, right? Maybe they might have Test Your Might like towers. Maybe they might have Motor Kombat. Whatever, like, who knows? But it would be very cool and I think awesome to do. You literally just have to take the character, freeze them in a pose, and stick them on the board. That's it. You don't have to do anything crazy. And that could very well be like one of the very awesome things about Invasion mode. It has the potential. I know people are very worried. Listen, I'm still worried too. I still don't know what's happening with the Dragon Crystals. Right? But if this is true, again, Salt Shaker type stuff, if it is true, then there is that sort of potential that it's like, well, you know, this is where all of the kooky, weird stuff that we do, that's where it's going. Right? If you want to access that crap, go in there. You got story mode, you got normal towers, and then everything else just gets funneled into Invasion mode, right? It's a centralized hub for all their sort of, you know, unlocking stuff, season things, all that sort of jazz. I think that would be pretty cool, right? It just depends too that if they were to indeed bring back something like chess combat or motor combat or puzzle combat, right? I love puzzle combat. It's so good. Again, just take the main characters, shrink them down a little bit. You don't have to even make chibi versions of them. I don't care, right? Just, you know, like, that would be awesome to have, you know, in the game. So in MMOs, I like this theory. In MMOs, right, we have, and the best MMOs out there have stuff which is downtime stuff. Stuff that you can do when you're not questing or doing sort of like PvP or anything like that. Stuff that, just like mini games or, you know, raising a farm or, you know, stuff like that. You need those sorts of things in a game. right? If you want people to log in, don't make it about grind. Don't make it about RNG or random numbers game where, oh, I hope I get this thing this time. Make it so that this content and the quality of it is in bellissimo, right? Like it's in perfect. Okay? You want them to want to log in. The season stuff for the first one with Scorpion looks amazing. It looks really good. I'm very excited about that and where that'll go. It means that it can open up to every single Mortal Kombat character out there, right? And that's the thing, like this is the sort of game that could get supported long-term for a long time as long as they do it correctly. If you bring back things that people love and they miss, like Mortal Kombat, like puzzle combat, like chess combat, right? Like test your might, test your sight, test your luck, you know, test your fright could be one where like, you know, you gotta, depending on how fast you press the button after something jumps at you, you know, something weird like that. I don't know. I look like a programmer, right? I can't even program hair to grow on my head. What do you think chance I've got? Anyway, so that would be cool, man. That would be very cool to see in this. It means that they now have, and this could be ported forward to future games, it means that people start to know and learn, okay, what more stuff you're going to add to Invasions? What more cool stuff? You can expand Invasions because it isn't as, like the only thing I liked about MK11 apart from Cabal, it was an awesome character to use, was the Crypt in terms of its layout and its execution in terms of movement, combat, design. Hated the RNG and the refreshing a chest. That was stupid and very predatory. But I thought that maybe that's what Invasions was going to be. But the fact that they've made it this way, I think actually opens up more choices, a lot more easeability to add in content. That doesn't mean they have to render an entire massive world for us to run around in. It's just another board piece. You know, 10 more slots or this or that, little secrets over here. And then they're all tied into a fight. And they can pull the characters in from the main game, change their name like we've seen, right? So like Chaos Warrior or something that Havoc was called, or Chaos Soldier, I think it was, and you fight them, and that's it. Like you don't have to you don't have to create this entire world like that. Okay, it allows Invasions mode to have a lot of nuance and longevity. That's the only thing that I'm trying to. Right, write this shit down, right? I'm trying to be positive that it could be a good thing. It could be a really, really good thing. But we will see. Okay? We have to see how it goes in the flow, you know? So, again, Salt Shaker, don't know if this is true or not. It did get pulled from the leaks, so it may not have been true. Maybe they found out that it was like fabricated. Maybe somebody on 4chan made it. I don't know. But either way, you know, I am very curious about, you know, the possibilities of invasion mode and the intricacy. Because once we finish the story, we might go back to it every few months, perhaps, if it's really good. But apart from that, you're either going to be playing offline content or online content or both. So they needed to come up with something offline that not everyone is going to care about on, you know, not everyone wants to play online in PvP. The biggest mistake they made with the Combat League was tying skins to it, and they were really good skins in terms of quality, but some people are bad at it, right? I think PvP, you know, I don't think outside of a title, you should be giving away awards, you know, for that in a fighting game. Like, you know, fighting games traditionally have had a lot of offline content that rewards you, and everyone can do offline content. Everyone can do single player content, right? But not everyone can fight other people online and be good and skillful enough, and then people start to get resentful. You have got to make it so that everyone has a chance, but if you say play online, you might get a specific title or customizations for your online profile. Bless you. But outside of that, I don't think you should do anything else. Right? I think leave everything in single player offline content, because then that way people go, oh, well, you know, that's great. You know, I'm not very proficient in playing online, so I can get this stuff another way. And that should always be the way it is, right? Anyway, guys, catch you next time.